Okay, guys, we're starting this one a little bit late. Sorry about that. We just missed out on Jonathan Taylor, who we were hoping to get as he was on our list of players value. We're just going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I think this is where it gets a little not exciting once you get to pick eight. The players you have to choose from. It'd be great if Justin Jefferson made his way back to us or Ashton Jeanty because they are values on this platform. We have them targeted. We also have Jordan Love actually as a target too. And we do have pick number what in the second round? 17. So if any of them fell back to us, it'd be great. Look at that. We were just talking about how, or we weren't talking, what I was thinking about was Justin Jefferson's going to start going in the first round here more often. He actually went at 10. So I do think whenever, actually, maybe I did mention in the previous video. So I think whenever you're here at the back of the draft, it's a good time to get Justin Jefferson because he might start creeping up into the middle of the first. And it'd be nice to have some Justin Jefferson teams over here and get some natural variation in your drafts just because of movement of players, ADP. We are going to ideally, if we can, get one of these two guys here. That being said, I think any of those three running backs are nice. We don't want to go wide receiver at the beginning if we can avoid it, because again, we want to tack some wide receivers in the middle of the draft, as we discussed on the previous video. I know you watched the previous one because it's got total of 0 views. So I won't hold it against you if you didn't watch it. Ashton Jeanty just went. Saquon went. It's hard not to like say, I mean, like Saquon did pretty bad last year. You got to feel like he'll bounce back. You'd imagine, assuming the whole Eagles team bounces back a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get Hampton or Love here. We got Love. Player on our players a target. Nice. So Love is, and let's pull up our players to target list here. He is not one of the ADP risers. Love is one of the platform. No, is he an ADP riser? He is one of the ADP risers. So he's gone up 12% in the past week. Not much today. So maybe he's topped out here. But 12% in the last week, and we got him at his value probably before about, right, 17 or so. So that's nice to grab that there. Also, probably more importantly a from a building perspective, getting a running back here is kind of what we wanted. So we're looking in decent shape here with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jordan Love. You see a lot of this, and I did this actually my last draft. It was on Underdog, but okay. Both tight ends go. Saw Bauer go all the way in the third round a couple times, which would be nice to get. We can target anything we want to with this pick. Again, we go running back again, because again, we want to try to get some wide receivers in these late to mid rounds. Most likely, our next actually targeted player is Josh Jacobs and Breece Hall here. Luther Burden's rising up the boards because of the DJ Moore trade. Kind of scary, but I think it kind of makes sense. 46. Where is that compared to ADP? Josh Allen goes. So there's Luther Burden. Right next to Igbokwe, Williams, Adams, Devonta Smith. I think it makes sense. There's risk with all these players here. Right next to Loveland almost now, Zay Flowers, Garrett Wilson. It's rich, but I guess it makes sense. Rasheed Rice is there goes Josh Jacobs, one of our targets. I don't like Breece Hall at 32, by the way. So that kind of stinks. I mean, the Kenneth Walker just went. Sometimes when it freezes out like that, it's like the player you're moving was the one that got drafted. It was wah. Okay. It's either Breece Hall. I think we just got to take AJ Brown right here. I do think Breece Hall should keep on falling. I know that's against what I was saying as far as grabbing another wide receiver, but AJ Brown does potentially still correlate with um, Jalen Hurts, and Jalen Hurts does fall too, and so that way we can grab a QB that hopefully correlates for the season. There's talk about him getting traded. We also got two Browns, so we can try to get all the Browns. What other Browns are there at wide receiver? Hollywood Brown. Okay, we're not getting all the Browns. There we go. Rank. Did Luther Burden already go? Players. He didn't go. Okay, there we go. It just wasn't updating. Luther Burden at 46 is our next one. So Luther Burden at 46 seems a little early. I do think even there's some other exciting players here. I don't think Zay Flowers is as much of a target now because we usually aren't getting Lamar all the way back at 56 anymore. I don't think. Let me see if he is. Yeah, he's going at 48 now. So the chances to get Lamar are less. I do like risking it though and maybe getting it. We're just going to go with Lad goes. Lad McConkey goes. Some people are excited about him just being in the offense he's in. Other people are afraid because he didn't do too well last year. Garrett Wilson goes. I think we'll take either of these players if they go to us. It'd be nice if like Lamar falls all the way to us at at the fifth round. Again, he's not doing that often, so it's a risk. I do like Colston Loveland too. He could be like he was targeted so much by the Bears that I think he's exciting too. Devonta Smith, if we want to get the Eagles, I hope maybe even Loveland goes, so we can just take Smith. Loveland did go. Okay, we're gonna stack up the Eagles here. Hope they can actually do something. Basically, people are drafting based on ADP. We're gonna pass on Luther Burden right now. Okay, so we're doing what we didn't want to do, which is grab wide receivers early, but that's okay. We can't just be robotic in this and just draft the players because they're on our draft the players because of a predetermined strategy always. think outside the box a little bit or just kind of do something a little bit. There goes Burden. Okay, so like we know he's rising a little bit, so there he goes at, at that spot. Burden and Smith, I think, are similar. In fact, I like Brown and Smith here because what if Brown does get traded? Then Smith probably gets bumped up the boards even higher as the number one target on Philly. So it is interesting to do that. Where's Hurts? Hurts going at 70. Do we have a and we have pick 65. So we'll take Hurts slightly early if he makes it to us at 65. Henderson goes early in this one. He was one of our targets at 43. That's kind of unfortunate, actually. Look at that. Okay. Montgomery is one of the risers, and almost all the value that was there is kind of out at this point, I think. If we go look at ADP by running back, where is he? There, he just got drafted. He got drafted ahead of Scadaboo, Junkins, Harvey, Stevenson. He was in the 60s, I think we just saw. He's going ahead of Stevenson now. So draft him if you want to. The value's no longer there, unfortunately. Lamar Jackson is still on the board. He just got taken. I was gonna say if he Scadaboo and Judkins. Scadaboo's been falling a ton. DJ Moore way early. We wanted to target him. We can't when he goes that early. We might take one of these running backs just because I do like Rome. Jalen Waddle goes. Rome goes. Okay, there we go. This is a tough pick here. I mean, I think based on like construction, running back is the way to go. Judkins is a risky pick. We already got three wide receivers. We want to go and attack wide receiver later on, I think, like we were saying. So we're going to go Judkins here, even though it's not our favorite pick. I think there's risk with all three of them. Judkins has the best chance at being like the workhorse for the year and coming back strong. Scadaboo, there's talk of the Giants signing, getting another running back. Same thing with Denver. So we'll go with the guy that has the chance to be a workhorse if he comes back healthy. Health is a factor though for him. I think that's the first time I've taken him on DraftKings. I think I maybe drafted once on Underdog too. So it's not like I'm targeting Judkins at all. We already said our next pick, if he makes it to us, is Jalen Hurts. There goes Scadaboo. Things get ugly already at running back. There goes Mike Evans. Unfortunately, that's the one we'd like, but now he's going earlier too. We're definitely taking Hurts here, like without question, since we've already made the investment in Philadelphia. I don't think any of these players are I don't think any of these, oh, look at that. Harvey falling a ton. I don't think any of these players are like, you got to take these players out of Hurts, though. So we're just going to take Hurts. There was another draft where I actually passed on Hurts and took Mekhi Lemon. I don't think I really felt great about it. Considering, again, these quarterbacks are getting pushed up. You might as well take a quarterback when it makes sense. Like I was saying in the prior video, when it comes to quarterback, you probably don't feel like you're getting good value. No one's getting great value on it. There goes RJ Harvey, nice fall on him. There goes one of the quarterbacks. Is that even look at that? That hurts. Not even a oh yeah, with Colston Loveland. We'll take Hurts here. Have to like that pick. This might be a Will Shipley last round draft. Will Shipley was, I think, my highest drafted player last year, 20-something% or something like that. It looked good in week 1 and it looked bad after that. I do like Will Shipley with Jalen Hurts because then you're kind of betting on, oh, they can't run as much for some reason. Um, maybe Saquon Barkley got hurt. Who knows? And now you're kind of like supersizing your Philadelphia passing bet with Hurts, Brown, and Smith. And then maybe there's more tush pushes. Maybe they make it work again this year. Who knows? But I think Will Shipley just makes sense if you're betting on this team to make a run at the playoffs. Let's see what we got next on our list. Daniel's still on the board here. Nope, not anymore. Did he fall to nope, not to the Terry McLaurin drafter. Where's the Terry McLaurin drafter? All the way back here. So that's tough now. Like if you get McLaurin too early, like in the round, like too close to the first, it's hard for Jayden Daniels now to make it all the way back. I think these were fun pairings before. McLaurin, Daniels, Jackson, and Flowers. Those are harder to do now. The only one that's a little bit easier still is this Philadelphia thing. You can do the Chicago thing. It's just tough because you're competing, and so he's just getting bumped up. Like, are you going Loveland? Are you going Burden? Where's it Dunze? He's right here. Rome is right there. So right, they're all there, which means I think he's getting artificially inflated because of that. Next on the list is Brian Thomas Jr. We'll definitely take him if he's probably best on ADP as well. He is. If he makes it to us, we'll take him. Tyson's there as well. Tyson's a little scary again because he's a little hurt right now. He had lots of target share, but it was at a team where I guess there was no one else to target. Tucker Kraft goes. There goes Brian Thomas. I think DK Metcalf before Tyson, but if DK Metcalf goes, then we'll take Tyson. Pearsall, I think, is an interesting pick as well. He's ADP 78. Okay. There goes Metcalf, so we can't get Metcalf. There goes Pearsall. We'll take Tyson here. There's a chance that Warren makes it back to us. I think there's a better chance that Warren makes it back to us than Tyson. So we'll take Tyson here, see what happens. He's the highest value on the board as far as underdog to DraftKings. So I think we can't be scared of it. Just take it. Hope for the best. I think this is the first time I've actually taken him on DraftKings. There goes Tootin. So that's good. There's a better chance that maybe Warren gets back to us. There's risk in Warren, right? Like, do they re-sign Gainwell? They re-sign Gainwell. That isn't good for Warren. Does their rookie from last year actually play this year? That's another question mark as well. These guys shouldn't be taking Warren. This guy actually, maybe Warren would make sense, and they took him. These two definitely shouldn't be taking Warren. Okay, this guy's well, this guy here is just taking best available. It looks like most likely he's not at first, but now he is not in the draft. So I think he's just taking best available. Keep that in mind as we go. We're not taking any of these wide receiver or quarterbacks. Who's the next person? 110. So we're not going based on our ranks for this pick. Hopefully this guy takes one of the quarterbacks. We could go Patrick Mahomes and maybe try to get Worthy on the way back. No, we can't do that. These are such ugly picks here is what they are. We do have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dak Prescott, there's just no one to, I mean, like, that's great ADP value. I hope this guy takes him because I don't really want to take him. It's ADP value, but that's about it. Good, he got taken. Jackson, good. Okay. Does Sam Laporta make sense here? That being said, Jared Goff probably won't make his way back to us. Where did Jameson Williams go? That clock really went. Jameson Williams went right here. They already got a quarterback. Let's do it and see what happens. Sam Laporta. Come on down. I think that's my second share of Sam Laporta now. Very few drafts. I'm on like a third of my teams on DraftKings. Okay, so if there are, oh no, let's see this on QB. There are a good amount of QBs in between, one less. Jared Goff would be, I think, a good pick here just because we get into some rough QBs as we go further down. And so we just go 2 QBs and be done with it. If it works. Let's hope it does. This guy's already got 1 QB, so he could pass on him. And it is, again, there are other QBs that are kind of protecting us, so he might kind of see that same thing. Looks QBs are getting put. There goes one right there, Jordan Love with Tucker Kraft. That makes sense. Rico Dowdle, I think that's nothing wrong with it way early though. I think compared to his ADP. This is, I think, the guy we need to dodge for the most part. There are a number of there are 2 QBs ahead of him, so there's okay. We did dodge him. Did he have? So, no, he just took him. I think Bo Nix is an interesting one if he falls in a draft. I don't like him at ADP really, but if he falls, I think he's an interesting one just because there's so many Broncos to draft later on that you can just kind of just pick and choose your Broncos later on in the draft. This guy's got no QBs. I hope this guy does not. This guy's got 2 already. So what could happen is, oh darn, I was hoping he wouldn't take a QB. He did take his 3rd QB already. Pittman, I think, is a good pick this deep. Who do we have to pick on rank? Addison at 110, and then Worthy at 110 as well. Okay, he took Pittman, good. He took Shakir. He's kind of a dangerous pick. We're gonna go Goff for the stack, I think, or do we push him around some more? We can't push him around because he has no QBs. This guy's on auto, so if we don't take him here, we're gonna miss out on him. This essentially finishes our drafting of QBs on this team. We do have to make things up at running back, where we got a rookie and an injured player. So this is going to look ugly at running back, this team, but that's okay. We do have 1 decent tight end to start. If either of these 2 fall to us, those are probably our picks. We're just going to do Worthy and Addison go on underdog? Let's see here. These are values. Addison goes 98 on underdog. Worthy goes 100 on underdog. Worthy just went. Uh, like we said, we're rough at running back. Take another rookie running back doesn't. Okay, he got drafted, so we're not going with him. We could go Gainwell. Addison just went. That's tough. Let's see. Does anything here make a lot of sense? I think we're just going to go and take Godwin. Ideally, he's healthy and he is the number 1 or number 2 on Tampa Bay. I don't like the idea of like Gainwell. A lot of unknowns. If he doesn't go back to Pittsburgh, I don't think he really has a spot. Also, by drafting him, maybe we can get someone like Jordan Mason to fall to us, who is a value player on DraftKings. We also have Trey Benson down here too, which I think works also. We're just going to lean into a really ugly running back draft at this point in time is what we're going to do. When you don't get those two running backs early and we take someone like Amon-Ra up front, it just makes it a little tough. That's okay. We definitely want like Jordan Mason. There goes Gainwell. Jordan Mason just went darn. Trey Benson. I think it's essentially been confirmed that Goddard's not going to be in Philadelphia, so we don't need to overdraft Goddard. That being said, if he goes someplace else, you hope that he's, oh, there goes Trey Benson. See, like I said, running backs are just going crazy. We could literally just take Goddard just because, or Ferguson. Ferguson kind of makes sense as like a bring back to for week 17 type of thing, Dallas versus Philadelphia. If we know that Goddard's essentially not going to be there. Malik Willis has risen up the boards even more. I do like the idea of a tight end here because I think we just need to go like hardcore running backs later on, like lots of running backs. This might be 9 running back team, 10 running back team, something like that. And to do that, I think we just need to we'll just stop at 2 tight ends, one of these 2. We're going to take Ferguson just because it's essentially assumed that Goddard's not going to be on the team, and at least Ferguson will be a potential bring back in week 17 type of thing. If there's a Philly versus Cowboys game to end the season, Coleman would be a decent pick just because he's literally just because it says RB there. I think Kamara is a good pick on this team because we need early production. Kamara's not a player. Let's see what they have to say about Kamara. What's the news on Kamara? Okay. Just like the Saints do with every one of their players. There goes Coleman, unfortunately. Woody Marks is the best running back available, which is not exciting. Based on ranks, here we go. David Boston. Is it David Boston or something? There goes the. He's going to. No. Casey Concepcion goes. Boston or Woody Marks. Let's take David Boston here. David Boston's on our list. We got another one. I mean, Woody Marks, he's probably not a early. We need a player that's going to produce early. I don't know if Woody Marks is that guy. They got David Montgomery. He's the one that's going to probably get the target, the most of the run early on, and then he'll probably go to maybe Marks later if Montgomery gets hurt. So maybe, but either way, I don't think you should be super excited about Marks. Houston just traded another one of their offensive linemen. I don't know what's going on there from a run game perspective. Denzel Boston, not David Boston. Sorry. Okay. But he's a better value on this website. There goes Woody Marks. Oh darn, J.K. Dobbins went. So that's crazy. Like 5 running backs there. We might be in a little bit of trouble here at running back, considering this guy's got 3, 3, and 3. He's got 3. You can see them all taking running backs here. Like I said, we're going to just have an obscene number of running backs on this team. Alvin Kamara went. That was the player we wanted. We'll start James Conner. We're going to get one more wide receiver, and then we'll be done at wide receiver. We could, I think we're going to wait this one out a little bit. Mike Washington goes. That's crazy early. We're going to wait running wide receiver out a little bit. Maybe get like an Isaac Tesla. If we can't get him, then we'll get someone else later for our wide receiver number 7. And then there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 9 running backs. Do we need a 7th wide receiver? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do. 5, 6. We got 2 rookies. Mendoza is expected to maybe not start the season. Because of that, he might start falling a little bit in value. If Connor makes it to us, we're going Connor. Hopefully he does. He took Rachaad White. There we go. We just need to get running backs here. And we're going to try to go a little bit later on. What? There goes Travis Hunter. We got 2 tight ends already, so we don't need a tight end. Johnson or Spears or Brooks. We already have 1 rookie running back, 1 injured running back, 2 injured running backs. It's just going to be an ugly running back room, like I was saying. 2 guys that are AFK. Spears is the healthiest of all of them. Johnson is falling in ADP. We're gonna go Spears here. I think Brooks is interesting, but he probably won't start the season strong. You'd expect him to maybe pick it up later. Spears he might be the starter if they cut Pollard or something like that, which some people have predicted. We're just gonna take Spears. It's only our third running back, fourth running back, sorry, on the team. There goes Emmett Johnson, another rookie who, again, he's falling. Tesla's 181. Is that our next pick? Okay, so here's the tough thing. Again, we got the two AFK guys who could take, either of them could take wide receivers. So we do have to seriously consider, where is he? Tesla. If we want him. Too many players left on our rank. We have none left on our rank. We will take Jonathan Brooks if he's available there first. I think we got to take any of these running backs that what do they got to say about Vidal? Okay, so he's most likely back in. There goes Tesla. We don't have to worry about him now. So we don't, darn, there goes Jonathan Brooks. That's not cool. I think he won't be tendered. A bunch of ugly running backs here. The unknown. Hope to get Aaron Jones here. He's got 5 running backs. He shouldn't be taking another running back this early. He doesn't. Okay. I think I saw Aaron Jones go 190 in one draft. I think it was an underdog draft, but we'll take Aaron Jones here. Feel very good about it because that's what we need, our running backs. We'll strategically take a wide receiver whenever we feel like it. I don't think there's any specific one that we need. There definitely isn't a specific one that we need. I think we'll do it whenever there's, oh darn, there goes the running backs. Okay. What's the player we had at the top of our queue? I think oh, okay. It's either Brian Robinson Jr. or Surratt. We need early production here. Which one is it? Brian Robinson Jr. He could rise faster if he signs on Monday in the right place. We'll take him. we need early production again, and he's got a better chance at early production either way, even if he doesn't land in the perfectly perfect spot. And then ideally that gives time for Jordan Love and Quinshad Judkins to start doing their thing. Connor could, and we got early production hopefully from Spears, Jones, and Robinson. Not good early production, but just give us some points, please, type of production. We're still trying to figure out our last wide receiver. There goes Kaytron Allen, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that maybe we get lucky, he'd fall all the way to us. Ryan Flournoy is a nice, actually, last wide receiver, considering it's the bring back with Philly, and it's a stack without the QB for Dallas. So that actually probably makes the most sense for our last wide receiver. If he makes it to us at 200. Matt Collins going way early. We talked about this yesterday. Matt Collins going way early on DraftKings. He does go Drake May though, but you'd hope to be able to like get him with Drake May with your second to last pick or something like that, not that early. Tank Bigsby is another interesting pick. Let's see who we got here. Devin Neal just went 204. Oh, Flournoy just went. No, that's the one we wanted. Oh well, that slightly hurts. But that's actually saves us because now we can go take Tank Bigsby. We're just kind of taking all the guys that could end up in places and have a role, hope for the best, and kind of going down the line as far as ADP goes here a little bit. Singleton isn't bad. And he got taken. Are there any, what are they saying as far as Joe Mixon goes? Just released. We're gonna go Chris Washington Jr. Not that he's going to stay in Washington. I think he's a free agent, but if he stays in Washington, that matches up with, again, a bring back with Philadelphia, which is our other stack. Oh, not Washington. Oh, Chris Rodriguez, who's maybe going to be on Washington. I think I called him Chris Washington. I do like both these guys here as like a last. I guess even Jadon Blue, who again another Dallas guy. Nine running backs. Who are we going to take as a wide receiver? Doesn't matter, does it? I don't think there's not really a Philly guy to take, and then there's not really a Detroit guy to take anymore. I do see people that are smarter than me still go. I like Mooney. I like Mooney. I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. Okay, we're gonna go with some upside for this one. I think either one are upside, maybe. I don't know. No, we're gonna go with Wilson because again, a slight bring back for our Detroit thing. Let's do it. That's the first time I'm taking him on DraftKings. I've taken him on Underdog once or twice, I believe. And now it's a wide receiver with our last pick. Keenan Allen is still available too. So it's between these two, Darnell Mooney. Oh no, that means Keenan Allen probably was just drafted. Oh darn it. Oh, okay. Well, Keenan Allen was drafted. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. We're taking Darnell Mooney, who we kind of didn't mind anyways. Darnell Mooney is a free agent. He could end up on Philadelphia as well. That would be pretty cool. If he doesn't, that's okay. But no, they still have what's his name as their third wide receiver, I think. I think Mooney could surpass him. That being said, I'd probably prefer if Mooney didn't go to Philadelphia, considering their passing attack. So this is actually a good pick here. Some people that do some rookie analysis. There's a couple rookies, wide receivers that aren't getting drafted at all that probably should a little bit. He's one of them actually. So um, someone to think a little bit. I think attacking Mooney today probably makes more sense because does he get signed on Monday, and then does draft capital start to rise? Luke Musgrave, I think I'm avoiding him this year for the most part. He was someone I targeted last year, just in the hopes that he could do something as a third year player. Is that what that was for him? But I think he kind of proves that he's just not it for Green Bay. Even when their starter was down, Musgrave didn't make it. Well, even when Kraft was down, Musgrave still couldn't like produce at the level you'd hope, considering what Kraft was doing. Okay, so we end up with a 2.972. Um, that's us trying to get out of the hole of kind of ugly running backs to start. And you be the judge if we did a good job with it or not. We and it was a hole at running back to start combined with other teams just continuously hammering running back early. This team kind of did the opposite a little bit with 10 wide receivers. We ended up with only two running backs and two QBs and two tight ends. Did anyone else do that? No. See, no one else did that. So everyone else went. Look at this, like a lot of six combined, six combined, six combined, six, seven, six, six, six. So a lot of six combined QB tight ends, a couple fives, a couple. I think we said seven, a seven, and so I'm the only one I went low QB, low tight end, and then higher running back, and just like standard wide receiver a little bit. Actually, maybe just one below wide receiver. Slightly risky at wide receiver here, but I think you kind of have to do it on this team. The hope is that I have some running backs that kind of get me through the beginning, or maybe even hit, and then Love and Judkins carry me once they get rolling, and hopefully rolling sooner rather than later. And so I have these running backs carrying me and rolling. I have Brown, Brown, and Smith starting off semi-strong for me. Tyson, and then maybe even Godwin if he's healthy, right? And then I got Tyson and Boston as rookies later on, and then Mooney just kind of just chilling there. Maybe gets a good landing spot, filling out my wide receiver room. I stacked it well, I think, with I didn't get Will Shipley. Darn. So, oh well. I wish I would have I forgot about that. I should have starred him. Um, I should have not gotten Wilson. And then I mean Shipley and Mooney instead of Wilson and Mooney. That being said, Wilson kind of proved that he gets some run um even when Josh Jacobs is healthy. So and then if Josh Jacobs isn't healthy, Wilson actually performed rather well. I don't really dig the Rodriguez pick, but it maybe makes sense. You could argue. I don't know. Maybe Bigsby ends up on Philadelphia again. So I don't know. Not having Will Shipley doesn't hurt, but I think it's fun when you got the Philadelphia thing going on. Oh well. Okay. So, but I do have the stack of the two wide receivers with the QB, and then I have Jared Goff with Laporta and Amon-Ra on my number one pick. My number three and my number 1, 3, and 4 picks are stacked, which is nice. Um, what else is interesting on this team? We do have some bringbacks again, in that where are our bringbacks, our potential bringbacks? We got Ferguson, Dallas, bring back with Philadelphia. And then we have Wilson bring back with Jared Goff in Detroit. And really, here's our big green pile of mess here. We just need someone from this group to do something. I think we got some candidates for it. Connor, um, he was proving he could do it until he got hurt. Hopefully, he can still do it after not having much on his legs for the year. Spears this late, I think, is interesting. He could be the number 1 guy in Tennessee. Some people have even said he could get released as well, but he's shown a lot more explosiveness than Tony Pollard. Not that Tony Pollard's shown that he's bad, but Spears has just been more explosive. Hopefully Jones goes to a place where he can contribute. Hopefully Robson goes to a place where he can contribute. Same with Bigsby, Rodriguez. So let's cross our fingers. Do we want to compare ourselves to one team? There is no other team to really compare ourselves to a whole lot. Here's a 2-3, 2-3. So this team only went to here. We'll do it with this one here because they have 2-3. Are there any other 2-3s? I don't think it really matters for me. Let's compare ourselves to this one here. Okay. What's interesting is they went the standard 3 tight ends with Bowers as their first tight end, which is interesting. Then they took Kittle, okay, and then Gesicki. So they took Gesicki to pair with Burrow. So you can't blame them as far as that goes. I don't know why they took Kittle here. I mean, if you think Kittle's going to be all that, then cool. That being said, you passed on Purdy to get Bo Nix. They go around the same time. You didn't stack. You didn't stack early with Nix. Not there's that many people. Did they stack late? Okay, so they got Franklin. So they stacked and Mims. So they stacked late with Nix. That's good. I guess their 3 tight ends are fine. It makes sense, I guess, when you do have Kittle as your second one to go 3. So I think that's fine. They have 2 QBs in Burrow and Nix. I think that makes sense to stop at 2. And then we have 6 running backs and 9 wide receivers. Okay, they actually went even more shallow than me a little bit. They got Stevenson, Hubbard. I do think these are. It's tough. And I think that Stevenson's going earlier than he should. There's a lot of risk there. That being said, he could definitely be a hit here, so it makes sense why he's going here. I just don't want to grab too many running backs in this middle section. I think this is now maybe the running back dead zone to a certain extent. So I'm not going to go and seek them out. That being said, the way this guy drafted, since he didn't grab any running backs earlier, I'll forgive him. I just don't want to be adding on extra running backs in this middle part. So let's see, for example, let me see if I can think of an example, maybe something I don't want to do. These guys went all running backs early, like this right here. Why? Oh, he's AFK. Um, why go 3 running backs early and then take 2 more right here in Corum and Price? I think if you're going 3 running backs early, you got to wait later. These could both be duds. I mean, you're drafting Williams as if he's part of a stud committee. I guess I can forgive the core, but then I don't think there's any reason to take Price. Even if Price hits, what's he doing on this team? Like nothing. At least Corum's kind of like this handcuff to, oh, Williams got hurt, but you have Corum type of thing. And then they still took Joe Mixon right here, which I don't know about that. He's AFK, so that's probably the reason why he did that. This guy also took 6. Did he take one in the middle? He took Coleman at 133. And then he took Johnson. Okay, the player I was thinking about in Singleton. So at least I like how this guy at least took a bunch of rookies to go along with his 3 stud running backs, trying to hit more there. I think you could have passed on Coleman and let me get Coleman, but it didn't happen. Where were we at? We were looking at the right here, this team. So he went and got 2 here, which I think makes sense. And then where he is next? Mike Washington. I think that's a scary pick now. Jonathan Brooks. I dig it. Allen. I dig it. I think he should have gone more running backs. Also similar to me, at least 7 running backs. Where should he have let up on? I guess it's probably wide receiver. Let's see. He's got 3 early. Lemon, 4. Dubs, 5. Franklin, 6. Mims, 7. Branch, 8. Williams, 9. I like the receivers he got in general. If you want to talk about like kind of, he's got his guaranteed players early. He's then got some upside in Lemon and Branch. And then he's got some more stuff to maybe round out the team and bring consistency with someone like Dobbs. So I do like the receivers he got, but I think he's got too many. I probably would skip on, man, which one would I skip on? Let's say, I think Dobbs would be a fine one to skip on. If you know you want to get Franklin and Mims, you skip on Dobbs, or you make it like similar to me, a 7 wide receiver build, and you put 2 more running backs here at the end. The running backs at the end are kind of ugly, as we've established, but I think you do one of those 2 things. Either you get another running back early, or you get 2 more running backs late. I think he's got too many wide receivers. They're not all going to start, most likely. He's got too many established guys up front to then hope that Lemon and does his thing and then Dobbs contributes, and there's just too much here. So that's my analysis on it. Tell me what you think of this team. It's definitely a unique build in today's day and age. Give me ready. See you next one. Peace.